Welcome to the Pharsyde channel. This is our series on business owner challenges, but today we are focusing on a solution instead. I am joined by Daniel Goldberg of Bridgement. Daniel, thank you so much for joining me today. It's really a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me, Tamryn.
Awesome. Daniel, tell me about Bridgement. What do you do and why are you doing it?
Yeah, sure. So Bridgement is a fintech credit provider to SMEs around South Africa. So we specialize in offering different funding options or solutions to small businesses, medium-sized businesses around South Africa. And we've built some smart technology to make the process of obtaining funding a whole lot simpler. So one of the things that we do differently to a bank or other credit providers out there is we give businesses the ability to simply apply by just connecting their accounting package. So at a click of a button, a business can connect their Xero account or Sage or QuickBooks Online. To my knowledge, I think we're the only credit provider in South Africa that actually allows businesses to connect all three of those packages. So business can simply connect an accounting package, and we use that financial data to assess them and grant them a credit facility very quickly. It removes the need for lengthy forms, lots of paperwork, and all the usual hassle that goes into obtaining funding from a bank or any other traditional credit provider. So yeah, that's pretty much what Bridgement does. We're all about assisting SMEs in growing, in managing their cash flow, funding the growth that they're looking to achieve, and we have different products to cater for different sort of funding solutions or working capital solutions that businesses might need.
So you're actually solving more than one problem. If I'm hearing this right, you're solving the problem of cash flow, which is a big problem for most small businesses, is the need for cash flow at bad times. But you're also solving that horrendous nightmare around the application for funding, because anyone who's tried to get funding before knows it's normally quite a hassle. So I'd love to know, so you only require connection to the accounting program and you can basically make your decision off those figures. That is quite amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So it does depend on the situation. It depends on how long the business has been using that particular accounting solution. It depends on the quality of the data within the accounting solution. So there are a whole bunch of factors, but what our system does really well is it makes it super simple so that if a business wants to connect their cloud accounting, and they don't have to, we cater for all businesses. So there are many businesses that aren't using cloud accounting solutions yet, and they can still get funding from us. But basically, if you do connect your cloud accounting, our platform automatically assesses and looks at the quality of the data sitting within your accounting package, and how well and up to date you sort of keep it. And then you may or may not be requested for additional information. So you could be asked to connect a bank feed or upload PDF bank statements or maybe management accounts or AFS. But there's a whole host of assessments that are going on in the background to determine what supplemental information is or isn't required. But to answer your question in a nutshell, for example, if a Xero customer came to us and they have a very good sort of quality of information, data sitting in their Xero account, and they keep it up to date all the time, etc., yes, a client can connect their Xero account and get funding without having to submit a single additional piece of information. So that's ultimately the way we've disrupted the ability for businesses to access funding. Oftentimes we do also deal with larger businesses, more complex. They've got subsidiaries and holding structures and multiple accounts and etc. So there's additional complexity, and oftentimes those are the businesses that are also looking for even larger facilities. So in some of those situations, we may require some additional information. But for the vast majority of our clients, If they were on zero, for example, they're able to actually get funding just by connecting their accounting package. So it really is a huge change to the normal experience that they'd have to go through with a traditional bank. In terms of your comments on the problems that we're solving, you're spot on in that our number one sort of unique selling point, USP, that key value proposition that we offer our clients is we offer the most convenient way to get business funding in South Africa. And when I say convenient, I mean the simplest sort of application process, which we've just spoken about, but also the quickest turnaround times in the industry. So we've really created a way where businesses can get funding in less than 24 hours. I think our record to date, which I always like to boast about, is we had a client, it happened to be a Zero client, who applied. It was a brand new client. We hadn't seen them before. They came to our website, applied, got approved, requested funds, and funds landed in their bank account all within 90 minutes. That was our record. We're constantly working on getting that to be even quicker than that. But the point is I think it illustrates how quickly we actually can do it. What the sort of possibility here is, and that's super exciting to us. Obviously, not every single client gets funding within 90 minutes. It depends on the complexity of the business and the quality of the data and a whole host of other factors. But I think it illustrates the point quite nicely. If we look at all of our clients and look at sort of the average time to get funding, we're looking at about roughly 9 business hours, which is extremely quick when you compare it to a bank where you could be waiting 3 to 5 weeks.
That's crazy quick. Yeah, a bank is so long. And I actually tested your software, I have to tell you, because I'm an accountant and I like to tell people where they can get cash flow help. So I used it, and I can tell you from my experience, I was extremely impressed. We're on QuickBooks Online, so that's what I connected.
Okay.
We do have multiple bank accounts, and as a result, you did ask for PDF statements, I think it was.
Okay.
But first of all, the way I was asked, the ability to upload them was so easy and so seamless. I have never ever dealt with a fintech or anything, well, finance anything that was that easy to send documents to. And I think I had my funding approved within 3 hours. So I was very
That's awesome. Yeah, you see, so I mean, I love hearing stories like that. It sounds like we're doing something wrong, and I think it comes back to sort of some of the core values of the business and the people behind it. I always like to tell people that we are a bunch of engineers that decided to come in and disrupt business finance to create a better way of accessing funding for SMEs. We're not a bunch of ex-bankers who try to go and use technology to automate things and do things better. It's the other way around. We're tech people that went into finance. As an example, I'm a biomedical engineer. I don't have a finance degree. I've never worked in banking. I mean, I've consulted in banking, but I've never been a banker. And so that our business has been founded and built, and the platform has been built by engineers, by people that are obsessed with technology and creating the best possible experience for our customers.
Well, I think you succeeded. Just from my own experience, I really enjoyed using the whole process. I thought it was very impressive. And as I say, the communication I got, it wasn't just helpful or professional. It was simple and easy to follow, and I understood exactly what was required of me, and I just thought it was fantastic. So yeah, I think your solution is amazing. So you did say quickly in your intro that you have multiple products. Do you want to just quickly run through the ones that you think are most useful for a small business owner?
Yeah, absolutely. So fundamentally what Bridgement is focused on is assisting businesses with cash flow in the short term. When we say short term, we mean anywhere under 12 months, i.e. 1 year. And of course, businesses can have particular working capital needs or cash flow needs. They might have different types of needs, different demands within their business, which could relate to the industry that they're in or the maturity of their business, etc. So at sort of the very simplest product is our business loan product. So we have just a basic business loan. It's like a fixed term loan for your business to cover a once-off need. So many businesses will have a once-off need that they might, instead of laying out a huge amount of capital up front, they might want to pay it off over 1 to 12 months and split up the impact of that outlay or capital outlay on their cash flow. And that could be anything. It really depends on your industry. So if you're a coffee shop, maybe you're buying a new coffee machine, and those things are expensive, 80 or 100K, and you might not have the capital on hand to go and buy that for cash up front. Or maybe you do have the capital, but you want to keep that reserve for other things in your business. So that's a great situation where there's a once-off need. You want to take a business loan. It's just a term loan. You want to pay it off over 12 months. Super simple. Then we have a line of credit. Essentially, that's like a revolving credit facility. It is also used for working capital needs. The only difference between the business loan and the line of credit is that the line of credit is more for like ongoing needs. So you might have a repetitive need on an ongoing basis, maybe every 1 or 2 or every 3 months. There may be a particular need that you might have. Now, that could be anything, and it depends on your industry, but maybe you are importing something, and every 3 months you have a big bill that you need to pay to import those things. Maybe it's some sort of inventory or stock that you need to stock up every month or every 2 months or whatever, and you sort of have that ongoing need. And the third product we have is invoice finance. So that is for businesses that have receivable invoices that are outstanding. So they're waiting for their customers to pay them. And that is a very common cause for cash flow pressure on a business. We've seen it so many times, and I'm sure it's relevant for an accounting business as well, but you see it with marketing agencies, you see it with law firms, engineering firms, a lot of like professional services types of businesses, but obviously not limited to those sorts of businesses. A lot of them, they'll issue an invoice to their customer and then they only get paid 30, 60 or 90 days later. And the problem is that you've already incurred all the costs. So you had to cover all the costs up front for maybe you're paying salaries for your staff or paying contractors, whatever it is, paying rent, any other expenses to running your business and delivering your service or your goods. And then you're only getting paid 30 or 60 or 90 days later. So that causes cash flow pressure. And so invoice finance is a great option for those sorts of businesses to get an advance on invoices that they're waiting to get paid. So those are the three products. And then we do also have a fourth new product. It's brand new. And that's called BridgePay. So it's still in what we in the tech world called beta testing, which means we have real clients using it and testing it, but it's in the beta phase. So it's like early adopters or early clients that are using it, and we're still refining the experience around it. But essentially what BridgePay is a product to help businesses buy from their suppliers or buy from their manufacturers on trade credit. So giving a business more time to pay their suppliers or their manufacturers instead of having to pay them upfront for goods. So that is the BridgePay product is actually a really exciting one. I don't know if you're familiar with there's a product called Buy Now, Pay Later. And that's huge in the consumer world. So what Buy Now, Pay Later is and it's really mostly in the consumer world. Essentially, if you're a consumer, you're an individual, and you're shopping on Takealot or Superbalist or whatever e-commerce site you're shopping on, you'll see that those websites now, when you're checking out and they list all the payment options, you'll see there's like credit card, instant EFT, you can maybe pay with eBucks, whatever, all the different payment options. And there's a new payment option they call, which is Buy Now, Pay Later, which essentially offers you the ability to pay off your purchase in like 4 installments, and it's completely free to you. So if your purchase was 10,000 Rand, for example, you would pay it off in like 4 installments of 2,500 Rand. So there's no additional cost, no interest, no fees, to make use of this buy now pay later product. So it's a huge craze that has blown up in the fintech world globally, and consumers are loving this product. It's a great way, especially consumers that don't have credit or can't get credit, like if they don't have a credit card or whatever. It's a great alternative, and it's free to use, which is quite amazing. So we saw that product in the consumer world, and we said, that's awesome, but it would be so much more amazing if we could offer this to businesses. Like, what happens if a business can buy from another business, if it's a supplier or a manufacturer, and instead of having to pay the supplier or the manufacturer up front, can that business rather pay the supplier or manufacturer over 90 days for free, interest free, fee free, etc. And so that's what BridgePay is. Super exciting product. I don't want to spend too much time going into it. It's quite a bit more complicated, but super exciting to be able to offer businesses up to 90 days free credit to basically purchase from their suppliers and manufacturers. So yeah, that's the new product that we've been working on.
I think those are all amazing products. That BridgePay sounds extremely useful to small businesses, because I think that is one of the most difficult problems that a small business faces, is you need to buy from a supplier in order to serve a client, but that client is now sitting on a 30 or 60 day agreement, and so you're only going to get that money in much later. So the ability to pay your supplier over time is a phenomenal solution for a small business. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We're super excited about it. And yeah, as I mentioned, it's in beta testing. We have real clients using it, and it's working really, really well. We've had a lot of positive feedback, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to start offering it more broadly to the rest of our client base.
I look forward to seeing it soon. Daniel, tell me, anyone watching, they know that they need some bridging finance from you. How do they find it?
So we are, because we're a fintech, everything goes through our website. The best way is to go to our website, which is www.bridgement.com. And there you can see all the details about the products. We've got a pricing calculator, a whole bunch of other information. We've got a blog that also shares a lot of insights around just helping you to manage your business, not only related to finance. And of course, that's also where you can submit an online application. It's super simple. You'll see on the landing page, the homepage, it says apply now, and you can follow those steps. Very, very easy. And if you do want to speak to someone, if you have further questions, we've also got live chat on the website, so you can also chat there. Otherwise, you can also email us and ask questions via email at hello@bridgement.com. So you can really pick your preferred medium of communication. But generally, we tell everyone to go to the website. All the information's there, and it's quite simple.
Awesome. We will put the link under this video. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. The only thing I am going to add to this video as an accountant is, anyone watching, only apply for bridging finance if you can afford it. Don't apply for bridging finance to get yourself out of a hole, because apart from anything, they're probably not going to approve your application. They can see if you're in trouble. So rather use your finance wisely, use your debt wisely, leverage it to improve your business. And now you know where to go if you want to do that. So thank you so much, Daniel.
Thanks, Tamryn. Thanks for having me on.
It was fantastic.